I have been, among other things, fascinated by the psychology and the behavior of fads and gimmicks and politics and what makes us like something, what makes us dislike something, and what makes us like disliking something. Nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee. Nobody doesn't like Erika Kirk, really, but loves what she does to us. Work with me through this. Have you ever had a cuticle and don't pull it, a little piece of cuticle or something, and it hurts. It's like, God, don't stop doing it. And you keep aggravating it. Or a piece of skin in your tooth or something, or why? I don't know. I think, and please don't take it the wrong way, it's almost the way some people abuse themselves or cut themselves or hurt themselves. They want to be alive. They want to know they're here by virtue of the pain that they're actually exacting, recreating, and perpetuating. Erika Kirk lets us know we're alive because we would not be able to see what was happening if we weren't alive. It would mean nothing to us if we weren't alive. If we weren't normal, we wouldn't notice this. If we weren't with and possessed of our faculties, we wouldn't know this. We wouldn't grasp this. If we weren't sane, it would mean nothing to us. And in a very strange and odd way, it provides this pleasure, not dual, but multi-leveled, multi-concatenated, layered pleasure. It makes us think that somehow maybe we have a real control over something because we recognize. I know this sounds exceedingly and unnecessarily deep, but there's a reason for it. Because we know what she is. I don't think she's, this is me, I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she's a psychopath. I don't think any of that. She's not smart enough to be a psychopath. I don't think she is evil in the classic way that we think of as evil. I don't think she's a psychopath, sociopath. That involves a certain degree of mentation, a certain degree of a lot of things that, frankly, I do not believe she is possessed of or is even aware of. I don't think that's it. I think it's a vapid, insipid, empty, vacuous, pretty much ordinary person pushed into a life, pushed into this fast lane by her mother, Laurie Franz, and this constant yearning, this road to finding something, some kind of acceptance and a feeling of accomplishment, not in helping others, but by receiving the warmth and the acclaim from others who appreciate her helping others. It's not the help, because she never talks about what she wants to do for anybody else. She never says, like, look, here's what we're going to do. At TPUSA, we're going to put all of our efforts together. No. It doesn't work like that. It never works like that. Never. It's not about us. It's not about her. It's not about any of this stuff. It's not about anybody but her. It's the vehicle. If it's a sizzle reel for a reality show, if it's maybe doing an industrial for the CIA under some weird kind of some kind of a Carrington class EMP pulse video. It doesn't matter. Try this. Maybe the let's face it, the whole this nature or notion of the pageant. And by the way, pageants today are really nothing more than a latter-day version of the minstrel show. And I think those were a bit anachronistic, but that was okay at the moment. You can only push that. The thing is, you put it beside you. That doesn't constantly fill you with the glow of the Klieg, the warmth of the acclaim. Something. She's finding something. And in the course of this, we sit back and we're saying, oh my God. It's like watching Ilhan Omar say World War XI. We laugh, and yes, mocking derision, yes, out of a sense of, isn't that stupid? But this is different. There is a part of us, and you're not going to believe this, there's a part of us that kind of pities her. There's a part of us that says, my God, could this actually be? Could she be this vacuous? Could this vacuity actually be this robust? Could it? Is it even possible? Yes. Yes, it is. It's possible that somebody actually exists in this, whatever you want to call it. I'm fascinated by it. It's a subculture that has, sad to say, nothing to do with Charlie, which is he's all but forgotten. Nothing to do with TPUSA, which is, let's face it, that thing is on a death watch. It can't exist any further. Come on, stop it. Who cares? It's done. Without Charlie, there is no such thing. It doesn't exist anymore. It's her now. And it's almost like she says, what can I do to drive these people crazy? What can I do that draws people out? And the last one with the hat and the this and again, complaining about herself. Let me tell you something. It's going to be a long time before we really get to the bottom of this. Let me give you another example. This is important. I noticed the same thing with Trump. You see, Trump, in many respects, shares something with her. People claim to hate Trump. They love Trump. They love him. There are people in the news who again feel they cut themselves. They are aware of life and what's going on because of Trump, because of who he is and because of what he does and because of all of this kind of jazz. Because of who he is. He is this. Again, the cuticle, the piece of skin in your gum or your cheek or this, he drives people, and then he does one thing after another. And people say, did you see what he just said? Did you see what he said to Prince Charles? Did you see what he wore? Did you see the ballroom? Did you see that? Did you? And they love him. They love him. The people who renounce him and criticize him the most love him the most. Most people who are for President Trump, when you say for, we liked him, we voted for him. Many of us want to see the old Trump that we thought we were voting for, the promised Trump. We want to make Trump again. Remember that one? Yeah. But. In a very interesting way, we're led to believe that somehow, well, maybe things have changed, but either way, they love him. They love him. Who next? J.D. Vance? Come on. Who? Nobody. There has never been anybody that, well, God, does he know? Does he, right? It's what you say. It's what they say. Same thing with Erika. The same thing. Did you see what she wore? Did you see what she wore? Not the Mr. Blackwell bad list, but I mean, did you see what is with this? What is this, a sniper hat? Does she know what's going on? Does she know? The eyes? Does she know about the eyes? Does she know when? At least she's not crying anymore. Well, she's crying, but she's crying sans hanky when she was walked out again. Remember that again. I just want to go home. You know who this reminds me of? You may not remember this, but maybe you do. Do you remember Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding? Or as we call her, Tanya Harding. And when Tanya Harding and then Jeff Gillooly, or whatever his name is, basically kneecapped or Nancy Kerrigan. What did Nancy Kerrigan say? Why? Remember that? You don't remember this. I was on WABC radio at the time doing morning, and I would always try to find some really weird thing, some angle that was so preposterous that would drive people crazy, admittedly, and some things have never changed. And what she said was, why me? Why? Not, ow, Jesus. No, it was, why me? So I got on the air, and I said, you hear what she said? She said, why me? And what does that why me mean? It means better you than me, that I don't deserve this, but you do. She would have been perfectly fine if you had been kneecapped, but who does she think she is? It was the most preposterous thing I ever heard in my life. You know, some people said, you know what, you're right. So in a weird way, what we saw, kind of by analogy, and just work with me on this, just humor me. By analogy, in a very strange way, what we were seeing Erika basically say, I'm the only one who can't take it. Everybody else is outside. One guy, he's eating. He said, do you want your salad? You know, he was eating. Other people were taking bottles. Other people were underneath the tables taking, people were just, no, but there was not this panic. I mean, it was a panic to an extent, but the only one who said, I gotta go, leave me. And how did she get out? This was a lockdown. How did she get out? And somebody else. And her photographer, did she, anyway. But that's the thing. Only she could take an event of an attempted, one would imagine, perhaps an assassination attempt against the president, and twist it in such a way that it was about her. Only this woman has the genius of doing that. It blows my mind. How is she able? How is she able to do that? So let me just tell you something. You may say to yourself, oh, you're being mean. Stop it. Another reason for this, by the way, is we're finding people who somehow, I have a friend of mine who's a very, very, very wonderful man, evangelical, really is, good friend of mine, known for 40 years. And he and I pretty much see things, as is. He sees straight through a lot of the shenanigans and the fraud of some of the more, how do I say this? Some of the more audacious of the evangelicals, the faith healers and the like. He kind of sees through them. But for some reason, I got this text from him that says, isn't this woman great? He gives me the hand, a woman of God. I said, are you out of your mind? Do you not see this? Again, she reminds me of that, remember that stupid thing a while back on the internet? Is the dress green or is it gray or gold or whatever the hell it was? And people debating on, anyway, that's what this was. Do you find her honest? And I truly believe, and I will go on the record and I will say, nobody really, really, really feels like, yeah, she's legit. They want to find her legit, or basically they want to say she's legit. They want to do everything in their power to drive you crazy because they know that she is basically just admired, so to speak. They're just absolutely laden, moored, tentacled, tethered to this bullshit affect, this whatever this thing is. And they know that by saying they like her, they're basically saying we don't like Candace, because this is about Candace versus her. She's almost like a place setting or a cutout or something. She represents something. She is there to enable kind of a pass through to allow you to connect to either your pro or anti Candace views. She is the last vestige, the last example, the last simulacrum, the last vestige, example, exemplar of the consummate fraud. She's also the great, not evil, but she reminds us in a way almost of the like dynasty, the Alexis versus whatever her name was, Crystal, she's the, but she's not evil. That's the thing. She's vapid. She's insipid. She's vacuous. She's harmless. She's anodyne. She's saccharine. Not that bright, but her dim-witted audacity, kind of a unique dual, kind of a portmanteau of idiocy and whatever. But that's the thing. And it's fascinating. What do you think? What is it about her? I do not think she's evil. I just think she just wants to be, whatever she wants to be. I don't think she had anything to do, and I think Candace certainly never said this. We all know this. This is axiomatic at this particular point, but we all know that. We all know it. It's just, and also, let me tell you something right now. Listen to me very carefully. There is a new thing happening, and the new thing that is happening is a movement. And you call it a political movement, a social movement, some kind of a movement, whatever you want to call it, a bowel movement, perhaps, anyway, or a vowel movement. But it is a movement that involves a lot of people who, for the first time, are finding themselves connected to a thought process, what's the word? A kind of a belief. It might be quasi-political in nature, but it's between Candace and, even though Tucker's not mentioning her per se, it's Tucker Carlson. We're seeing something. It doesn't have any name. It's probably, let me just add something, kind of as a subdirectory to this particular issue. I think there was something almost, remember during the 80s, when Reagan did the moral majority, when Reagan did that, Donald Wildman and James Robeson and all these other people, and these Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson and all this, they really weren't the best examples of evangelical per se, as it wasn't, certainly not in the Billy Graham realm. But this is different. This is a latter-day version of not evangelical, but people of faith. And Candace and Tucker have been absolutely exemplary, most demonstrative in their attestation of faith, their public belief system in faith, and their unabashed, unapologetic adherence to what could be called a very conservative way of thinking, or whatever you want to call it. Either way, this is a movement which is going to be very, very important coming up in the midterms, because there are people like I am currently situated, where we are, for the first time in a long time, we're thinking about either some third party, something or other, or sitting this one out, or whatever it is, voting but writing in something, because the Republican Party has all but left me. The Middle East and what I thought was Trumpian MAGA, whatever that is, I am certainly not seeing it right now, especially this capitulation to big tech overlords and ghouls. And number two, this insane, schizoaffective, detached, fragmented, this weird, almost this insane foreign policy that makes no sense. It makes, you've heard of horse with no name. This is a policy with no aim. It's just void and devoid and absent anything even remotely identifying or insinuating rational thought, rational belief, rational anything. And many of us feel very, very, very sincere about this. Very sincere in that what we are seeing is a complete and total dismemberment of logic, a dismemberment of logic. And we have had enough of it. We have had enough of it in toto. So think about that, my friends. Think about that very, very clearly. All right, my dear friends, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you again for following me, for allowing me. What do you think about this? What is the thing? Give me an appraisal. Why very interestingly, why Erika has become this cultural, this media, this political, both magnet and repellent. I don't know what it is. What do you call this? This is what I ask you, my friends. This is what I ask of you. So I ask you very much, and I thank you. Thank you for your time and your effort and your focus and your absolutely indefatigable attention to what amounts to truth. You've been very, very kind to Candace. I came upon the Candace bandwagon unwittingly. I said, okay, she's a very fine young lady. Turns out she's, I think, the voice of a generation, a lost generation, a generation that knows no age, a generation, a demographic that knows no particular age. You understand what I'm saying? Good. That's all I ask. All right, dear friends, on behalf of a grateful nation, I ask you to accept my thanks for not who you are, but what you appear to be. That's one of my favorite jokes. I used to say that. Thank you, not for being who you are, but what you appear to be. I know, thank you very much. Nobody listens to you. It's like that great line from, was it the Roxanne, where the mayor, where Fred Willard says, I'd rather be with you people. Do a toast. Whoever says, Jerry, would you do the toast? Okay. Raise your glasses, friends. I'd rather be with you people than the finest people in the world. Oh, thank you. Nobody. When they read the names of the great YouTube commentators, you're going to be out there listening, and I mean that sincerely. I've known a lot of people, Jerry, and you're one of them. You know, you say these things in such a particular delivery, nobody's listening to you. They go, thank you very much. Because half of what you're saying is not the subject, but in the delivery, and what they think you're saying. You understand? Good. All right, dear and gracious and glorious friends, I thank you so much. Have a wonderful and a beautiful day. Thank you so much for your attention to my attempt at detail. And if you could and you would, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, my friends, I've got some questions for you. Whatever you do, please comment as you see fit.